Hey, what's up, everybody? As you can see, I moved from my bedroom to a different location. I like this better. It's brighter. It's greater. Whatever. But today I'm going to start a segment called Why. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to talk about things that brings the question of why. So, first things first. Chrianna. Now, I know what you're finna say. I know you're tired of hearing about it, but just hear me out. Just hear me out. It's a lot to talk about. First of all, let me get into this whole thing about the Law and Order SVU episode. I get that they were trying to do a reenactment, I guess. Maybe. But the number one rule of doing a reenactment is that, first of all, you should be consistent with your information that you're spreading to the people. And second of all, it should be remotely relatable to what you're actually talking about. Now, it would have been a whole different situation if this was about domestic violence in general and they used Chris and Rihanna as an example of things that can, go down in a domestic, violent situation. That would have made more sense. I don't know what this was exactly. It could have been a dream, a fantasy. A lot of people are saying it's just a direct message to Rihanna saying, you've taken this guy back. Don't be surprised when he kills you. And Jay-Z. I don't know. But honestly, why? Why was it done? It doesn't make any sense. It has so many inconsistencies and so many things that just doesn't make sense. And that doesn't match the real life people. Now, granted, I know Chris Brown is a fuckneck. That's my fave. I love him to death, but he's a fuckneck. And I have come to the conclusion and the realization and the acceptance that he is a fuckneck. But one thing that he is not the monster that was portrayed in the SVU. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be. Now, mind you, I'm going to be honest with y'all right now. I did not watch the episode. Because I just no. I just wasn't out. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't a thing that I wanted to watch. I wasn't about to give NBC any type of ratings. I just steered clear of it. I did watch my timeline, however. I did see pictures, and apparently it was just really crappy. It was really crappy. Given Chris makes bad decisions a lot. He does shit that has me like, what the fuck are you doing? What planet are you on? Why? But at the same time, he's really not that bad of a person. And I think that no matter if you're here for him or you don't give a fuck what he do, I think we can all agree that he's really not that bad. He could be worse. Really, honestly. And the way he was portrayed in SVU was just absolutely deplorable, actually, in my eyes. I think it was just really disrespectful on his part. It was disrespectful on Rihanna's part, especially when they started talking about her grandmother. I definitely know where Rihanna comes from with the grandmother situation. My grandmother died a day after my 12th birthday. It's very, and she was one of I was so close to her. She was like my best friend. So for anybody to like bring that up and try to bring it up for like ratings in a TV show or even to try to make a point, it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. It was inaccurate. There were so many just things wrong with this episode. And what kills me is that apparently they didn't even put a domestic violence hotline at the end or information about where you can go if you're in a domestic violence situation, if you're in an abusive relationship. It turned domestic violence into a joke, in my opinion. And that's why a lot of people don't take it seriously. If you were going to do something like that, first of all, stick to what actually happened. Mind you, we still don't know in full what really happened from start to finish, from what happened to what happened after, to all the details. We still don't know anything about that. We still don't know the whole story. And the way Chris and Rihanna are set up, we probably will never know what really happened in that car. So for you to take, if you're going to take, it's okay to take a headline here, a magazine article there, or some events that happened on the gossip blogs, and put it together and be like, okay, these are the things that we saw happen. We're gonna reenact them for you. That's okay. That's great. But for you to really sit here and try to make a whole episode story with plot holes in it, with holes in it that aren't explained, it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's disrespectful. It's just plain dumb. And at the end of the day, there was no message to that. There was nothing about domestic violence. They turned it into a joke just to go and slander Chris or try to teach Chrianna something. At the end of the day, and what people are failing to realize is that these people do not give a fuck what y'all think. They don't care. Well, Chris might care, but he tries not to act like he tries to act like he doesn't care. But Chrianna really doesn't care. She doesn't. And as a woman, it's up to her what she wants to do. I feel like, in my opinion, she's stronger than most people for taking back an abuser. Because most people wouldn't. I probably wouldn't, if, you know, depending on what the situation was. But she chose, instead of hating him and holding in that resentment, she decided to let go and forgive. And for that, I commend her. I think she's a strong person. I'm not saying that just because it's Chris. It could have been anybody. And I would have been like, you know what? I respect the fact that you're going to give this person another chance. Because you don't have to. As for everyone else, I don't know what your fucking problem is. And here's another thing I have a problem with. Everybody keeps talking and freaking the fuck out about the possibility that Chrianna may want a child with Chris Brown. So the fuck what? Like, honestly. People keep saying, well, I just don't see her having a child, especially not with Chris Brown. The fuck do you mean? Would you think he's gonna hit his children too? Like, what are you saying? What are you trying to say? Because other than the fact that he got in a fight with Drake, he got into it with Frank Ocean, he gets on Twitter and cries sometimes. Like, what problem do y'all have with Chris other than the fact that he's an overly emotional, light-skinned nigga? You go ahead and you think on that while I move to the next. I'm going to move on and you can think about that. But the point is that I really don't see Chris as being a bad father. He obviously loves kids. That's been kind of apparent throughout his whole career. Given he can be a little bitch sometimes and he can act douchey at other times. But I don't see him being a bad father. I just don't. And as for Ree, I don't see her being a bad mother. Now, given they're both at ages right now where they should be worrying about having fun and do what the fuck they want to do. And that's exactly what they're doing. I don't think they're going to have kids anytime soon. But if they have kids, so what? Let them pop out 50 babies if they want to. You shouldn't have a problem with it. It's not your vagina that's going to have the baby. It's not your dick that's putting the sperm on the egg. You have nothing to contribute to that relationship. So why do you care? Why? Whatever. Moving on to the Kanye rant. Y'all, if you know me, you know I love Kanye. And I don't mean that in a stan sense. I don't mean that in a fan sense. I mean, I love him. Some of y'all love Beyonce like she is just the sun and the moon and the earth and the tides and the wind and fecal matter or whatever. She's everything to you. That's how Kanye is to me, honestly. Yes, I know he's an asshole. Yes, I know he says things that piss people off. But I don't give a fuck. Because Kanye is Kanye. So, you know, I had to come to his defense when he, you know, when everybody went crazy because he ranted at some show. And he said things. And one of the things that struck a chord with people is that he didn't like the Suit and Tie song. Okay, so y'all come on Twitter every single day talking about shit that nobody gives a fuck about, but we let you do it. We let you do it all the time. But when Kanye does it, all of a sudden it's an issue because what? It's Justin Timberlake? I love Justin. I love Justin. He is the first black president. don't argue. Or maybe he's the second black president next to Bill Clinton and before Obama. But we're not going to get into that. I love Justin. But just like everybody, some people love stuff and some people don't. If he doesn't like the song, he doesn't like the song. Now, into the meat of his rant, he talked about how the music industry has become more of a business than a celebration and a congregation of art and passion and self-expression. And I agree with him. And some people were trying to say, well, he's being a hypocrite because his whole career is made off of business ventures and you know, everything else. But see, the way his own career could be exhibit A for what he's saying. He's giving y'all living proof that this business, that this music industry is nothing but a business now. It's not even about the passion anymore. His whole career could be a big example. It could be the proof that it just shuts the book. There's no need for an argument. So for y'all to say, well, his career went like that, so he's a hypocrite. I mean, whether he's a hypocrite or not, does that make what the fuck he's saying any less true? What are you talking about? Talking about, oh, he's just mad because he's just mad. He's just mad that Jay-Z is doing something with somebody else and that's why he doesn't like suit and tie. What the fuck does that even mean? That's stupid. The fact that you're trying to downgrade Kanye into some little whiny bitch, and even though sometimes he does whine like a bitch, everyone in the world whines like a bitch. Y'all whine all the time. Y'all whine all the time about shit that doesn't matter, and yet when Kanye does it, it's suddenly wrong, and that's not fair. And it's hypocritical of you, actually. But whatever. Last thing I want to talk about, and this is from an article I read this morning. It's not new. It's not a new article. Nothing new happened. It was basically Jada Pinkett Smith talking about why she lets Willow do what she do with her hair. I looked at the comments. It's always a big mistake to look at comments, but I do it anyway. And basically, it was a mixed bag. Some people were commending Jada for letting her child have, you know, self-expression and letting her do what she want to do with her hair because it's just hair. Other people were like, it's hair today and tomorrow she's going to be a stripper. Oh, God. And I just kind of, it was weird. It was just weird to see people react like that. Now, I understand that some of us come from a traditional household where you don't do that type of stuff. You don't color your hair. You don't cut it. You just leave it as is. You don't get tattoos, all that stuff. I respect the fact that some people were raised by old-fashioned folk where these are the rules and you follow them because I made them and that's it. But let's be trill here. Between you and me, let's be trill. You know, the minute you got to college, after having to sit for 18 or 17, 18, 19 years of being on a strict rule where you can't do shit, when you got to college, you got wild as hell. And you know you did. Don't say you didn't. You went to parties, you did what you want to do. Now in some cases, some people don't do that. They carry their parents' expectations into their future and whatever. But most people, once they can get away from the iron fist of their parents, they wild out. And that's not a good thing. Not in my opinion. It is the foundation towards the road to hell. It really is. I think that there should be a balance. Let your child know, like, it's a contradiction. When you're being a hypocrite as a parent when you tell your child, oh, you can be whatever you want to be. You can be an astronaut, you can be a doctor, you can be a dancer, you can be a singer, you can be a lawyer, you can be the president, you can do whatever you want. As long as you do everything that I tell you to do, the way I want you to do it, and you be the person that I want you to be. For real? That's how we gonna do it? It makes no sense. It's not cohesive. It's not cohesive for you to do that to your child. It's just hair. Honestly, you should have a balance. You should give your child the freedom to do what they want to do, but at the same time, tell them that there are consequences to their choices. Sometimes the only way a person can learn the power of having a choice is doing it the hard way. Now, some people were like, well, I don't want my child going out and looking stupid and their kids laughing at them. Well, one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to conform to everybody else's expectations of them, or they're going to tell them, well, you know what? You don't have to like my hair. And you can think I look like a freak. But guess what? I like my hair, so I'm going to keep it. So either they're going to be comfortable with themselves and do what the fuck they want to do, or they're going to be a conformist to what everybody else thinks is cool and popular and, you know, all that stuff. Basically a hype beast. So, I mean, it's not going to hurt nobody. Coloring your hair, cutting your hair does not hurt anyone. Unless you're harming someone or harming yourself, your body and your mind and your soul and your thoughts and your dreams should be yours, not your parents'. And the fact that people really think that boxing their children in and telling them that how they feel is not the right way, you can't tell nobody how to feel. And as a person who is emotional all the goddamn time, even when I don't give a fuck, I'm feeling something. From someone who is very emotional, that to me, and somebody else said it and I totally agree with them, when you try to box your children in like that and you doing all that type of stuff and you got them in their minds like, well, I want to do this, but that's going to make mama mad, so I'm going to just do this. I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's emotional abuse. You're emotionally fucking your children up, and that's stupid. As far as the whole situation in itself, I don't give a flying fish of a goddamn what that girl do to her hair. If she wants to go bald tomorrow, guess what I'm gonna do? Guess how I'm gonna feel? I'm gonna be upset because I have to go to school tomorrow and I don't want to go. But I'm not gonna care about her hair being short. I'm not gonna care if she shaves her head. It doesn't matter. And then some people were talking about, oh, you know, it's hair today and then she's going to become a stripper tomorrow. That don't even go together. It don't even go together. If Willow turns 18 one day and she decides she's going to become a stripper, more than likely Will and Jada are going to look at her like, what the fuck? But there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. But that's the power of choice. You have to give your children the power to choose what they can choose. Yes, there are things that are outside of their understanding, and they can't really do that for themselves. I know that there are some limits, you know, that there are limits that you must place upon your child because you want the best for them. But telling them they can't cut their hair or they can't color their hair because you said so, because it's not normal, because people are going to laugh at you, that's stupid. It's dumb as fuck. And I don't like it. Anyway, that's really all I have to say today. So in conclusion, if you're still mad at the Chris and Chrianna situation, nobody gives a fuck. If you're still mad about the Kanye situation, nobody gives a fuck. Stop trying to raise other people's children. Raise your own goddamn kids. And stop being a goddamn... Just stop. Just stop. That's the whole... Just stop. That is the whole point of this video. Just stop. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can like, you can comment, subscribe to the channel if you like. Tell a friend. They might like what they see here. It's Monday. I hope you guys have a great week. March just started. It's kind of warming up now, at least where I am. So, yeah. Have a wonderful day. See ya.